Well, it's May 12th, 2023, and I'm here with Jimmy Moffatt, who has kindly accepted to make his way here to participate in what we're calling a Craftstory interview. I was just going over the questions with you. Let me just state them again, and you're free to interpret them any way you like. Well, what's your name and where do you live in Craftsbury? When and why did your family come to Craftsbury? What do you do in Craftsbury? What is there about Craftsbury that makes it Craftsbury? In other words, what is there about Craftsbury that makes it different from other places that you might have found yourself living? And then finally, and I'm sure you'll have a bunch, are there any family stories or any stories about living in Craftsbury that you would like to tell? That you would like to have us preserve at the Historical Society?
All right, my name is James Moffatt. I was born on Wild Ranch Road in 1937. The house I still live in. And
in that house you were born?
That's right, that's correct. And what was the next?
Well, what do you do in Craftsbury?
I'm a lifelong tree farmer. Different kinds of trees. Lumber trees, Christmas trees, maple trees, all that sort of thing.
Is this a business that you began, or was it a business that you were born into?
The dairy part was I was born in, which I didn't last long in. And my father started the Christmas tree business. It was much different then than it is now. And I'll get this mixed up with the Christmas tree story. My first memory of a Christmas tree would have been in 1937, and my father got my brother and I up early, and we didn't know what was going on, except that he always had some jobs lined up for us on Saturday. And
is your brother older or younger?
And
he's younger.
We started out in a brand new 1937 Chevrolet truck.
Brand
new. One of the first ones off the assembly line after we went back to domestic production. And a freight wagon and a pair of horses. We proceeded about 2 miles west to the property that my father had just bought, and we started cutting Christmas trees. They're wild Christmas trees.
Wow.
And 2 hired men, one of which would bundle the trees. They were just wild trees. And my brother and I would drag the trees where my father chopped them.
And he chopped them physically down with an axe.
Yeah, to where the tire, wrapped them in bundles and loaded them on the vehicles. And by mid-afternoon, we were pretty well fagged out, and I thought it was endless, And I thought, well, how are we ever going to get back in time for chores?
You still had work to do.
So, lo and behold, I know we were right back where we started. We made a big circumference around the
Really
old perimeter. So we got back and did have supper and milked the cows.
And you haven't stopped working ever since.
Stopped working ever since.
That's when you were 10 years old?
10 or 11, yeah. Yeah, but, we can back up just a little bit here. But I was born in 37. Hitler was just starting to roll up the smaller countries.
Yeah,
Franklin Roosevelt was president.
yeah.
And the world was looking very good at that moment.
Did your family support Roosevelt?
No, my father was a staunch Republican. And so from that point forward, I'm talking about just Christmas trees, right? From that point forward, my experience was limited to just Saturdays, pulling trees in Christmas tree season.
Right, and doing dairy.
Plenty of the work for us other times of the year.
Yeah,
He made sure we had plenty of work for us on Saturdays during the summertime. And
no hired people, except you and your brother?
oh no, he always had one hired man.
Mhm.
Yeah. And that went on till I graduated from high school. And and I worked for him for 5 or 6 years. And then when I bought him out of parts of the business. And in the meantime, I married a wonderful girl, Joan.
Yeah.
Who was my helpmate and soulmate and bailed me out. I was deeply in debt from my experience in farming. And she was a dental hygienist and could make good money. And somehow we slogged it out and paid up the bills that I had done. And I continued to cut trees still on my farm and on other farms as well, all the way up to Black River Valley, all the way up to Lowell and
Yeah.
all over the place.
So you rented land to cut?
Yeah, it was just a stumpage basis. So that
Where were you selling all these trees?
people would just come around from Massachusetts, Connecticut, New Jersey. They would just come around. You'd pile up some trees, and they would just come around and look for the best buy, the best trees and the best buy.
How much was a Christmas tree back then?
I'm going to say that the bundle trees were only about $1 a tree. After that, when I started cutting a little better quality of tree, I believe I would get as much as $4 or $5 a tree. And so that added up. That was real.
That was real cash.
That was real money. Then I planted the first Christmas trees in 1965, and planted 10,000 on that was the same old farm that I've been talking to you about.
So all this, everything you had as pasture became the plantation?
Yeah. And then on to the 70s. I bought a quite large plantation over in Sheffield, Vermont. And that's when we started shearing the trees up in the land. They'd just been wild, spindly little things,
By hand with clippers?
Clippers and knives,
Yeah.
and
To shape them.
yeah. Through that period, you asked me where I sold them. I had retail outlets in New Jersey, Jersey, White River Junction. Berrymont Failure Road. And eventually our trees got, anyway, I can back up just a little bit. After the horses were gone, which was a very important part of another phase of my livelihood, that left the fields and pastures open for planting. That's when I really started planting, Christmas trees and so forth. And
What was your source for Christmas trees? Where did you buy all your little baby Christmas trees?
in the beginning, we pulled them, put them in seed beds. It turned out that they were not suitable for the cold climate in the Wild Ranch Valley, and they would get frost damage about every spring.
Mm.
So then we started buying transplants from the other species, Fraser fir, Canadian fir, that didn't break bud as early, and hardly did. Then it turned around and we began to be more successful. And, long about that time, my son came home from college, had a big sugaring operation, and all of a sudden we realized we're not doing a good enough job of either one, sugaring and Christmas trees. And we both chose Christmas trees.
In what sense weren't you doing a good enough job?
Well, we both took an awful lot of maintenance, and all of a sudden, if we have 100,000 trees, that tall, fertilize and shear and mow and so forth.
Pretty work intensive.
And worn out 10,000 tap sugar bush, and the tubing, so forth, and obsolete equipment. And so
You were doing tubing back
yeah,
then?
well,
Did you ever do it just with buckets?
oh yeah, I can get back to that. I guess it is a good time. Yeah, the part I loved about sugaring was the horses and the buckets after we got rid of the damn cows. And in the beginning, I had 6,000 buckets, and I had 4 good strong horses to harness over the morning, which meant I had to have 1 or 2 backups, and
These are draft horses.
yeah, and those were the days. I loved it. I loved it. Once we switched over to tubing, after 2 years, it became a maintenance nightmare. And I was just a test. I was a test bunny for a lot of new equipment, which I was a leader back there, agent too. So I guess they knew they wanted to try out. They send up the gym.
The fat sucker, that kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So, endless sugaring story. And the Christmas tree story. Well, this while that Steve and I were off retailing here and there, we started with choose and cut operation on a small scale. Joan would stay home and take care of that. It started out very small at first. And up to present day, and Stephen expanded the business too. And so I eventually sold the wholesale part of it to Steve, and I kept the wholesale part of it. And I still do that. I was getting pretty iffy for me to do that. I have to wrap the trees, and so forth, and it's getting pretty iffy. I'm hoping for a miraculous recovery. But who knows? So that's about the end of the Christmas tree story, I think. But these other questions that you asked, we can get back to those.
Well, did you love Christmas trees? I mean, it was such an intensive thing to do.
I
I
love
mean,
it.
every day getting up and spending, I don't know, 8, 10, 12 hours.
Oh, well, of course, the bad thing about it is that, such a narrow window to harvest that many trees.
Yeah,
Very, very nerve wracking to get them cut and shipped, and or delivered. And in such a short time, so, but somehow we seem to get through it. And,
is there a lot of competition in the Christmas tree industry around here?
there always was, but the people in town, other tree people in town, were just very friendly competitors.
Yeah.
We share information.
Nothing cutthroat about it.
Oh, no. We get along together. And then work together.
Is that a Craftsbury thing, or is that's the Vermont farmer thing, or is that a?
Yeah. Yeah. You don't have to worry about that though, but the Christmas tree business is the best right now that I've ever known. It's a shortage of trees. First time in my life that I ever witnessed anything like that. And it's a great time to be in the tree business.
Wow. You're looking for investors? Because, there might be people out there listening.
Yeah. There, so I guess I wrapped up the sugaring end of and the Christmas tree business pretty much. Just let me see if there's anything new with more than that. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it, I guess, on the Christmas trees and we always did logging in the off-season, winter months. Also, we done earlier on with the horses and later on with mechanized equipment. And thanks to my parents, I own a lot of woodland acreage. So,
Would you care to comment on, having been born in Craftsbury in 1937, here we are in 2023. What have you noticed about what Craftsbury has become as opposed to what it used to be?
well, I don't know as many people, of course. People in neighborhoods probably are not as close or friendly as they used to be. And, I don't mean that they're unfriendly, I just mean, like the one room schoolhouse that I went to, used to be a social center, and we had different events there, and all the neighbors would come, and don't see too much of neighbors, all the old ones either died off, and mostly new people, relatives in there, and compared to myself, relatives in there, town, still nice and family, but nice folks, on the branch there.
Those new people, I was one of those new people back in the 70s. I think that's when a lot of people came.
Yeah.
I remember Willie and Carol and Ryan, when we lived on the common, that we'd be eating supper and all of a sudden, here they come, they're there. They come and visit us while we're eating supper.
Yeah.
And that was for a kid from Long Island, that was,
Well,
we weren't used to that.
that's Willie.
That is Willie. Is that what you're talking about? Just being friendly and getting out and.
Yeah. most of my good friends, close friends, have died, of course. And, but after my wife passed away, I took up skeet shooting.
You did.
And got to be a very serious skeet shooter. And,
Competitive?
yeah. For a while, yeah. And did pretty well. And I always shot a lot anyway. But, like,
Uh-huh.
hunter.
So you've always been a successful waterfowl hunter?
I wouldn't say that. Missed more than I got, but I gave that up because the many birds would come down in the marshes that you didn't know if they're dead or wounded. I got to the point where I just couldn't stomach that anymore. So I stopped doing that.
Did you eat what you hunted?
Oh, yeah. I hunted in the West quite a lot later in life. Enjoyed that very much.
You have antlers, big antlers in your,
Elk, deer, and pronghorns. I do hear people complain, you know, about people taking over Craftsbury. Well, of course they do. One of the last blessed places in the world to live. Of course they come here. And no, we don't know, you know, almost zero crime.
yeah.
You know, and you can complain about taxes if you want, but they tend to forget that we're getting an awful lot for our tax dollars. And the more people that move in and build these houses, you know, the broader our tax base is,
Right.
You know, and it helps us all. So you're probably aware that our school budget and highway budget here in Craftsbury is way higher than surrounding towns.
Yeah.
And there's money up here to support it. And so
Are we doing a good job of taking care of the people who aren't able to keep up in Craftsbury? I'm delivering, you know, I'm doing food deliveries, and, you know, you become aware that there are people for whom the taxes and things are.
well, I often think about the starters, they're way in starters.
Yeah.
Very pitiful situation. I don't know. Well, you know, anyway,
Yeah.
he needed a money manager, I think.
Uh-huh.
And,
There are things you don't learn in high school that you're gonna need later on.
True.
Yeah.
He was in my class in high school.
Uh-huh.
A little bit older.
Okay.
Craftsbury is a great town to live in.
You held some offices, didn't you?
Oh, yes. I served the town non-stop. And was elected or appointed citizen from 1965 when the present day.
Really?
I was a school director, an interim school director for the union, Hazen Union High School, and for a brief period of time, we thought we were gonna go with that.
Right.
I was on that interim board, for 9 years. Served on the first town planning committee. And several other committees. I've been on the municipal forest committee for as long as I can remember. I've been chair of it for as long as I can remember. Which, which is a natural for me, you know.
Sure. Yeah, you're right in the middle of it.
Yeah. So,
Well, I want to make sure that, I mean, this is a good occasion for me to thank you. You know, for doing that. Not that it's up to me, it's up to the town, but I just. Thank you.
A couple of things that oh yeah, I bought a lot of Canadian trees for 10-year period, just because they were better than ours and reasonable price. I could buy them, bring them down here and buy them at a reasonable profit.
From Quebec?
Yeah. So I've got one little story here. When I was 12 or 13, my father had some Christmas tree and brush customers just over the line in Connecticut, straight down in Connecticut. And he asked if I'd like to go with him on the trip. So away we went. We were staying in 1937
Brand truck. Yeah.
We headed down. And we get down there, and these people come out to greet us. And they're Greeks. With dark skin.
Yeah.
And well, my parents were not the least bit prejudiced against anyone, race, color, religion, anything like that. So I didn't pick this up at home, but probably at school. I stepped in it. I was scared to death of them.
Really?
And I said, my father used the N-word because of my race. He said, oh no, they're Greek. And they tried so hard to coax me into the house, you know, did everything they could, brought up treats and felt so bad that I wouldn't go in, you know. That's a case of underexposure, which we all were.
Right. Right.
Which we all were in the small community.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did it resolve? I mean, what was it about it that made you change your perception? I mean, you were scared of them.
Mm-hmm.
When did you realize that you didn't have to be scared?
Oh, I smartened up for us in 2 years. And when colored people began to be more prevalent, you know, they started to come in.
Right.
And so forth. Anyway, we were supposed to spend the night. You know, so I wouldn't get out of the truck. So we had to turn around and drive the way back. It's like, you know, I always felt bad about it, but
Yeah, you were just a kid.
yeah.
That's You know, that's how you learn stuff, if I haven't experienced it.
That's right. So any other questions you want to ask me?
I don't think so now, Jimmy. I think you've done us proud here. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. All right.
Michelle.